Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. This is my 25th broadcast. I think I deleted almost all of those. Interesting. So, I just wanted to come on and do a follow-up video in regards to being your own advocate, as well as I wanted to talk to you about the good, the bad, and the ugly of Facebook groups, which I have been. Hi, Amy. I hope you get power soon. I'm welcoming all my East Coast friends to watch this since they're stuck inside in the snow, but be careful of your internet usage. Anyway, something happened to me on Friday, and it was not very pleasant. And you know those moments that you're all fired up and you want to answer right away? Something told me, just like, keep your mouth shut and just walk away. So I'm going to tell you that story. It's all about Facebook groups, but I want to give you a history of when I started using Facebook groups. Really got into them. So in August, if you've been following me, I'm going through this health issue. Well, I have an autoimmune disease called NMO, also known as Devick's disease. And I've was just diagnosed on Friday with that for sure, as well as relapse remitting MS. So that is what is on my paperwork. That is what my second neurologist is telling me. And I actually did my blood work today so I can finally get on medication because I've already had a relapse and it was awful. And I'll tell you about that later. But that is all that I know. So that is what I tell people because that's the information that's been given to me. And what I see on paper and what I see with my own two eyes on my MRIs, on my paperwork, everything online that my doctors have me looking in these portals, and I see it with my own two eyes. So that's what I share, what I know, and so that's that. So that's my health issue. So, hi Laura, hi Weiss, oh my God, hi Maisie. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to answer them after because I don't want to cry because it's also Beauty Week on my website and I don't want to have to redo this. So I'm going to try to keep this as short and sweet. I even have an outline because I know I go all over the place with these live videos. I've been watching them played back and they're just like insane. So back to why I'm doing this Facebook Live. So it's about Facebook groups and why they're good and why they're sometimes not good. So in August, when I was diagnosed with MS, obviously if you've been in that position or you're part of a community that you want to get more involved in, the first thing you start doing is Googling, go to your social media outlets, and do as much research as you possibly can. So what I did after Googling the hell out of like everything and crying my eyes out, I came to Facebook and I looked for groups to join because I wanted to talk to. There's one thing with having a disease, you can get enough information from the medical side, but you need to speak to other humans that are actually, other patients that are actually living this because it hits everybody, especially with autoimmune diseases, so differently. Cancers, it hits, I mean, some people unfortunately pass away after chemo and some are fine and like live a normal life after. Everybody is different and you always have to keep that like in the back of your mind when you're talking to somebody that has something, especially medically, that's going on with them. So I was searching for MS groups, and at the same time, I knew I had to change my business. I knew I had to close the doors on some. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. Like, how am I going to put my voice out there? How am I going to, stay true to my brand and myself, but then at the same time tell people I'm sick? Like, are you going to fire me as a client? Like, it's just so much information. So I started searching for MS groups, and I found a lot. Actually hosted a Twitter chat for one of them, Oh my God, I forgot that hashtag. My memory is like crazy these days. Anyway, I'll put it in the links below. And they were so supportive. It was like the most supportive community. And then I started really thinking about my brand in the fall and how it had to change in 2017. So I ended up finding this one Facebook group, and it was created by Kara Alwaleba, and you probably know her as the creator of the Champagne Diet blog, as well as the author of Girl Code. She is like such an inspiration, and she's just like a no shit, takes no shit type of woman. And she has started this insane community online. Her Facebook group is Slay Baby Collective. And I think it was in the fall, September, October, I can't remember, that I joined that because I follow her everywhere on social, and I joined that. And the amount of women that I have met in that group, they're so inspirational. By the way, this has nothing to do with business, this group. It's all about women empowerment. It's all about motivation, inspiration. If you're going through a tough time, we give each other advice. There was a blog post actually done today from this woman, and it was all about her professor told her to share her voice, meaning something that she had gone through, and she wrote this amazing blog post about it, which I read a couple of minutes ago. And that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing my voice. I'm sharing what I'm going through. The last video I did, I just didn't give a shit. I had no hair done, no makeup on, I had my glasses and a hat. In that video, I probably received like almost 200 messages now about, oh my God, I watched your video. Like, I can't believe I've never done these things. Like, I need to do these things. And if I can just help one person that's going through what I'm going through right now, then I feel like my job is done. And I know that by getting my voice out there and being heard and sending this message that I can definitely help more. So that's why I'm doing this video as a follow-up, and also to keep more people in the loop about my health. So in the summer, like I said, I found MS Facebook groups, and they were super supportive. And then in the fall, I found Slay Baby Collective, and the women in there are just like, there's like over 3,000 of us now, I think. So thank you, Kara, for being like such a role model for all of us and inspiration. And like, there's just nothing but positivity in this group, and that's something that everybody needs, no matter what you are going through every day. We all chime in. We're friends now on our personal Facebook group. Somebody started a snail mail chain letter kind of thing, and that was so awesome. Like, who does that now? Like, it was just like such a breath of fresh air. So then another great group is when I was looking for more business Facebook groups, because I knew I had to kind of turn my brand into more of a personal brand myself rather than a company. So I kind of slowly dwindled off LinkedIn. As I'm still a LinkedIn coach, and I still absolutely love that platform and post. I just don't blog on there anymore. It just got to be too much. Sales and marketing tool on there is like amazing for your business, especially if you have a small business and you're looking to grow your brand. But for me personally, I just knew that I needed to find another outlet, another resource, and Facebook turned out to be that resource for me. I never was really active in that many groups. I think a couple years ago, like some makeup groups, but that's it. I've never really been vocal in them. So then I came across another one called Permission to Hustle, and that was created by Audrey McClellan and Vera Sweeney, who are business partners. And it's all about it was created for entrepreneurs and businesswomen, and there's some men in the group as well, I know that, and just giving yourself that permission to hustle. Like, so many people think that it's not okay that you're a mom and you're working like 80 hours a week and traveling and doing all these blogs, but that's how you're supporting your family. Some people just aren't aware of how that's actually an entrepreneur working their ass off. Or if you're single mom or dad, or if you're doing, I just use that as an example, being a mother, but you have to, you have to give yourself that permission, and that's what they're preaching. This is the group that they've created, and it's so positive. There's so many people that come into the group asking questions, and just like they give you, Audrey and Vera actually give you a tip and a challenge every day so we can keep each other on our toes, which is so important, especially in business. And that is an amazing group that I love being a part of. It's called Permission to Hustle. So if you want to join those two, you guys should. I think you have to shoot Karen an email now to join, but that's basically it for those two. So Slay Baby Collective and Permission to Hustle, my two favorites, one for personal, one for business, that are absolutely so, and like, it's just such a joy to be a part of such positivity, especially nowadays. There's no like bullying, there's no negativity, there's no spamming. Like, it's just real people, everyday realness. Like, shit happens during your personal day, or if you're having drama at work, or you're getting no's on pitches back to back. Like, there's people in these groups that are there to help you. That's why these others have created this platform. It's so amazing, and I'm so lucky to be a part of those. And so thank you, you guys, for even creating them. Now, I want to talk about something that happened to me on Friday. So when I saw the first video I posted about being proactive, my doctor tried to fire me, but I ended up firing them. And behind their back, I think I mentioned this in the group, I already scheduled another neurologist appointment and had them pull my records from somewhere else so it wouldn't like flag the system. I'm becoming quite good at this medical stuff, just in case anybody needs any tips or tricks. Please feel free to message me, because it's becoming a job. Well, it is a job now. So I met with my new neurologist, and I was there for 3 hours. And everybody there, since day one that I've called, is nothing but nice, positive. They have, like, I don't even know, like, how else to describe them. They're just, like, perfect, really. And I finally showed up for my appointment, and I waited a little while, which is fine, because I had a bunch of work I needed to post online. And I was there for 3 hours, I think 12 to 3 or 1 to 4, I forget. So in the amount of time that I was there, we went over everything from A to Z that has been happening to me. We saw my scans clearly. We saw my blood work. We saw like anything and everything that I had on me and he had there, because I carry everything on me as well, just for like double backup reasons, and in case their computer shut down. Like, I can't handle making another appointment. So since August, I've been battling this MS, and then finding out I have this NMO disease that's super rare and no one knows about. He was able to diagnose me, give me names of medication that I need to research. Like, everything was done in one visit, 3 hours. So from the first neurologist, it took them 8 months to do complete everything that he literally did for me in 3 hours. So this is obviously why you need to be proactive, like I said in my last video, because if you're not, these things won't be as simple as they were for me on Friday. So you have to become your own voice. I don't care what is going on in your personal or professional life. If you don't speak up, no one's going to have the opportunity to hear you. And that's also why I'm doing this video, because I want to be that person for someone that is afraid to speak up or doesn't know how to speak up. Like, I'm going to tell you how. Just seriously send me a message, because you just have to. You only have one life. So Friday, I finally got my diagnosis. It was like I was just sitting outside on a bench, and I called a friend of mine. I was waiting for my ride, and I said, I literally cannot believe I just got all of these answers in one visit from this doctor. One visit. And by the way, almost all of his patients came from my first neurologist. So that just goes to show you why you absolutely always need a second opinion. always. This is my second time going through something medical where I got a second opinion and it was in my favor. And nobody is perfect. So I'm not like, saying anything bad about the medical field. I'm just saying, like, you only have one life and one body that you have to take care of. And this is why you need to take these proactive steps. So I was like patting myself on the back for kind of saying, like, F you to this doctor and making my other appointment and not listening to them, because if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be where I am now. So I felt so relieved, and I finally had my diagnosis. So when I had come home, I had one more blog post to put up that night. And I did that. And then I went into my one of my Facebook groups I found. I'm not going to say these names. So there's two other Facebook groups that I'm a member of that are for, anybody going through a specific disease, autoimmune disease. So anyway, I went in and I updated my status on the video that I had posted in there to help others in case they needed like a voice or just wanted to become more proactive themselves. I had posted that video in those two groups. So I went and I put an update saying, this is my official diagnosis. I did that because I wanted help. Like, okay, yes, I finally have the answers. Like, who's going to help me? Like, and then I finally have a list of medications. I have 8 that, but I've narrowed down to 4 actually, that I need. My doctor said, okay, go home and like research these because it's going to take a couple weeks for you to get on this medication, because there's blood work, which I did today, and all these other things. So I'm now like full on like in these groups. Okay, this is my official diagnosis. Like, talk to me. Like, what information can you give me? The comments that I received back were, your doctor is wrong. Your neurologist is wrong. You're wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Everything is wrong. Like throwing all this medical lingo at me. Terminology which I didn't even understand, which is weird because I've been literally doing this as a job, researching these diseases, and it was just like negative after negative after negative. And I go to these support groups for a reason. I want to learn every single thing possible that I can to help myself and then to help the next person. And I always say, and hashtag sharing is caring, and this is one of the reasons, another reason why I'm doing this live video, but also I want answers too. I want to know, like, what are the side effects of this drug, because I want to connect with other people on a level that they understand. And it literally was like I was cyberbullied. And I know that they're coming from a good place, but the reason why I'm posting this video is because when you go into a Facebook group, or any group for that matter, you're going there for a reason. You're going there for positivity, for strength, for support, whether it's personal, business, religious reasons. Like, the reason why you're going in there is to learn and to be active and to get support and to network, like learn more. Like, what are you wasting your time for? That's the whole point of going into these groups. Especially a medical group, you want to learn more because you're scared. I'm scared. I don't even know. Like, everything that they were saying to me, I had no idea about. And I've been researching this for months. And I'm just questioning myself, like, how do I not know these things? So the whole point of this video is you have to be considerate of how others are feeling. And you have to think to yourself what you felt like at that time. I understand that these people were coming from a good place and trying to help me like ASAP, like, oh my God, no, like, this is wrong. Like, you have to just double check. You need to, do this and that. And it's so overwhelming. So you have to seriously remember like how you felt at that time. And if somebody were to come at you like that, it's not like, I mean, honestly, I've never been cyberbullied and I read these awful stories about it, but I kind of felt like that was like a piece. It was just like so negative. And here I am busting my ass trying to be as positive as possible and getting my message out so that I can help other people. And I'm staring at my phone, lying on my stomach on my bed, like so proud of myself. Like I got through the day. It was so effing emotional, but I'm finally relieved. I got my blog post up. Now I'm going to the group for support. Like, hey, here I am. Like, here's my update. Like, let's talk meds. Like, what's the side effects? What, you want to learn. And all it was negativity. Like, you need a new doctor. And then people in the groups were like tagging like all these doctors and tagging other people. And if you're a part of a group, your phone is just going to blow up. Like, that's just anxiety written all over it. And anybody that has a medical issue, anxiety is not really a help in that matter, is it? No, it's not. So I literally had to like just put my phone away because I couldn't handle it. I understand where they're coming from, but if you're going to be in a group, a Facebook group, you always have to be like as positive as possible, because you never know how somebody's day is. You never know like how they're actually feeling inside and why they're coming into this group. You just have to be like mindful. And that just like wasn't the case for me that day. And it's so hard. I wanted to go live so bad that night, but I knew it was not going to be good for me, for my business, or anybody else. So I've been waiting until honestly like I cooled down. I like really thought about like, why did they do, like, why did that even happen? And I understand they're coming from a good place, but it's just, I just want to let you know that if you are going in Facebook groups, like Permission to Hustle and Slay Baby Collective, like they're so positive. And a bunch of other medical groups I'm a part of, I'll post all these links underneath when I'm done rambling here. They're so positive, and I just like can't be a part of negativity right now, especially when I'm trying to learn as much as possible. And I have like 20 people coming at me, and then those 20 people tagging other people and telling me like I'm all wrong about my diagnosis. Like I've gone through hell with this and back like many times, like just leave me alone almost. And I understand they're coming from a good place, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But that's the good and the bad of Facebook groups. And I just want everybody to just keep spreading like motivation and positivity and inspiration. And I did that in my Just For Us group today. And it's just what we all need in this world right now, no matter if you're going through something negative or if you're just having a great day and want to share something. Like, you just have to be mindful of everybody else that's going to read that post, or who you're tagging, or who you're speaking to, and the tone that comes across in what you're typing, which is like my biggest pet peeve. I coach that to my clients all the time about sending these emails. You have to like listen to your voice, like when you're writing it. But anyway, that's totally off topic. So let me just look at my list, because look, I made an outline because I didn't want to forget anything. So, okay, so this one, this is the last thing I want to talk about. And, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Okay, so after all of that happened on Friday in these groups, I ended up just like passing out. I was so exhausted and emotionally drained. And I woke up to, I just couldn't breathe. My breath was like skipping a beat. Like that's all it was like I felt like I was like on a hamster wheel, and it was just like hiccups. I couldn't catch my breath. And I have an extremely high tolerance of pain, I've realized over the years, because I've been really sick and I never knew, because my tolerance of pain is just so high, unfortunately. It's a good and bad thing, but when something is wrong inside and you can't feel that, that's no bueno. So long story short, I ended up in the emergency room, and it went from, in a matter, from what I can remember, I think it was like probably an hour. It went from not being able to breathe properly to vertigo, like my head was spinning, but my spine was like, like at the carnival, that thing you slam with the toy that goes up. This is such like a bad analogy, but there was extreme pain in my spine, and my arms went numb. I couldn't feel my legs by the time I got outside of the house. I got into the emergency room and they got me right in because obviously I couldn't breathe right, and did all these tests, and I actually had an ultrasound of this is interesting, of my veins, which I never knew existed, and I heard the blood go through my veins, which is crazy. So that was fun. And that was just to check for a blood clot. So anyway, long story short, I saw white lights. It was bad. I thought it was my time. Not gonna cry. So anyway, after I was drugged up and fine, I just started laughing with my friend that was there because I'm like, how is this happening? So I ended up having, my diagnosis from there was I had a severe panic attack, which I've never had to that extreme, but I also had a relapse, and I've just like, I didn't really know what relapse meant, and now I can finally explain it. So if you have MS and you have a relapse, from my understanding, because I'm sure somebody is going to comment, and I'm not a doctor, but when your body is attacking itself or something's happening on the inside, especially with autoimmune diseases, I'm not on any medication right now because right now we're just getting it approved and we're going through that process. Like I need it immediately, but it's a process to get on this. So your body just like goes into shock, and when it's attacking itself and your disease is attacking the autoimmune system, that internally, that's what you call a relapse. So I had a relapse. So, and the part that really sucks about this NMO disease is that you can be blind and paralyzed, and my neurologist, like literally, like you just don't know when it can happen. And my neurologist even told me, like, most of his patients that he's treated from someone, they're paralyzed from the neck down, and that's just like not an option for me. So I have to get this medicine like immediately, and he's so amazing. He's getting everything done fast. So anyway, that's the update on my health. But the reason why I also wanted to add this health update is because I'm in an emergency room and I'm telling them that I have this disease, and I'm telling them, and my friend who was with me is, she was explaining it to them. And I've had I think there was 3 doctors that came in, and they're telling me how long they've been in medicine, and they thought I was making this up. And they're like, well, we've never heard of this. And he literally went and Googled it. And I'm thinking to myself, do you want to just take my iPhone? Because if I give you my password and you go on my phone, you'll get more information from my iPhone than you will on Google, because I've already done all that research for you. But they had no idea. There's only 4,000 of us in the United States of America that has NMO, Devic's disease. And it sucks because I'm literally telling doctors like what is going on with me. And it's supposed to be the opposite. So that's why I'm trying to spread awareness. And it's Patients Day in LA, 13th through the 15th of this month, which I wish I could have been a part of, but honestly, I think it would have just destroyed me. Like, I just need to be here in Vegas, going through my own, my own little bubble right now, and then kind of advance to maybe do something like that next year. But it's honestly too much. Like, all I can handle is doing my live videos and doing it my own little way, getting my voice out there so I can help spread a message about this disease. Because if anybody has crazy symptoms, you need to go to the doctor and you need to get blood done, especially because NMO, Devic's disease, which I have, you test positive for it in your blood. So if my doctor never ordered the blood, they would just think I had MS. And now apparently I have both, and that's extremely rare. And that could be wrong. We're still waiting for more test to come back in like 3 days. I should have it. But my diagnosis right now is I have absolutely 100% Devick's disease, but I also have relapse remitting MS, and there's no way of knowing how you get they like kind of piggyback off each other, and one causes the other, and you don't know how that happens unless you like literally cut your spine open, and no one's doing that. So that's my update. That's all I know. That's all the information I've been given. And you know, people can make mistakes. I'm just like using my life and health experience to get this message out there, because I know that there are other people that are going through a health condition, because I've been getting hundreds of messages from these women. Like, I've been waiting since the summer for my doctor to call me. Are you kidding me? Like, I want to call their doctor for them. Like, get up and go to their office, and you don't leave until you get an answer. That's what you need to do. I've done that twice. Actually, yeah, I think it was just twice. I don't know. Maybe it was more than twice. But you have to get answers. You have to be proactive. You have to be positive, and you have to find others that are willing to be this way with you so that you can help each other out in the long run. When you're on Facebook groups, just please be mindful of how others are feeling if you're going to comment on their posts, or if you want to send them a private message, do it in a very nice, mannerful way so that you know, honestly, you don't make the other person cry. I was like in tears, and I'm emotional enough. I don't need to be crying about people tagging me on Facebook. It's ridiculous. So that's my 2 cents, people. I just wanted to share another video. And if you feel the need to message me about anything I've said, please do. And also, if you have any other questions about NMO or Devick's disease or MS, please feel free to leave it in the comments or message me. I'll absolutely answer them. I just want to, you know, share my story, because that's all that I know. So if I can use my loud mouth and my voice and share what's happening to me, it can help others with what they're going through. And continue to network on your Facebook groups, because I will. And just please be mindful and positive. It doesn't matter if it's a personal or a professional group. You just really need to take into consideration how you post and what you post and the reason behind it. And just be mindful and, you know, think of how others are feeling and how you were feeling at that time. Because that's all I have to say. I got through this without crying. I was determined. That's why I put extra mascara on. It was like my motivation. So I finished my outline. Thanks, you guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you would please share this video. It's probably a half hour again. I can't see the time. I talk a lot, so sorry. But I just want to get my message out there. I just want to be the voice that I want to be the voice for the person that's afraid to use theirs. So if you want to share this on your wall, or private message it to someone, or tweet it, or whatever, please feel free, because I am on a mission to find a cure for this Devick's disease and bring awareness to it so the doctors know in the emergency rooms when people come in feeling like they're dying. And also with MS and just anything in life in general. I will be your #1 fan, and my BFF just FaceTimed me. Clearly she's not watching my video. Anyway, so I'm going to go. I'll leave some links below. Thanks so much for watching. There's so many of you guys that came on. Thank you so much. I'm glad I didn't cry. And just be mindful and positive wherever you go. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.